Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and I've got a few books on the go. I thought I'd talk to you about them. Like I said, I've got one book on the go. No, I did not. I finished one book. I have three books on the go. I'm going to start with the one adult book I have on the go, and then I'll switch back and tell you about the book I finished and the two I'm currently reading for middle grade May. So, very quickly, the one adult book I have on the go is Yesteryear. This is by Caro Claire Burke, and basically, it is following Natalie, who is a trad wife influencer, and it's kind of hopping around in timelines. So we get like present day, modern day Natalie, who is married to Caleb. They have six kids. They have this little farm, and she's an influencer. So she is doing like traditional soap making, bread making, family meals. Let's go see my little ladies, which is what she calls her chickens. And then we'll go back to like when she's in college and she comes from a small, very Christian Bible Belt sort of situation. She's really smart. She gets a full ride. I think it's to Harvard. It might be to Yale. I don't know. She gets a full ride Ivy League. And it is a big culture shock. Um, it's terrible. And she is very self-righteous and very small town, small minded. Um, and her roommate is, and all of the girls around there are like super feminist. So there's a big clash. Um, but it's kind of going back and forth between that and meeting Caleb and getting married and then like modern life. And then one day she wakes up and she's in her room, but it's not her room. She's in her bed, but it's not her bed. There's her kids, but they're not her kids. And there's her husband, but he's older and suddenly a competent farmer because in the real world, Caleb is his dad is a politician and he's like basically the equivalent of a Kennedy. His family is super into politics, so, right? But this Caleb is a hardworking farmer who will not hesitate to backhand her. And, now she's expected to, what was the line? Wash laundry until her hands bleed. So in modern life, her kitchen looks like an old timey kitchen, but when you open cabinets, there's an industrial fridge and there are nannies, and she has a producer to help with all of her stuff. And then she goes to Yesteryear, and it is not that. It's like legitimately there's no central heating and air. There's a fireplace in the kitchen trying to heat the whole place. Stuff like that. I don't like it. I hate it. Thank you for asking. Um, I'm trying to get through. There are parts that are brilliantly written. There are parts that I really enjoy. There are parts that make me giggle. There are parts that are well written, and I just don't like Natalie. So, which I don't think she's meant to be a likable main character. I just don't know if I'm going to complete it at this moment, but I'm going to keep pushing through. Now, moving on to what I completed for middle grade May. This is Just Keep Walking by Erin Soderbergh Downing. This one came out in 2024, and I've had it since 2024. And when Lee mentioned it in one of her videos last week, I think, or a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I heard that book. I need to read it. I keep saying I'm going to read it. So I finally did. And this one is following Joe. It has been 2 years since Joe's parents divorced, and she is terrified of being alone because the night she found out that her father was leaving, it was a night where her mom had a meeting. And so, anyway, you find this out like midway through the book. I'm trying not to give you spoilers. She's scared of being alone. And she and her mom are going on the Superior hiking trail to complete a hike that's 2 miles longer, 1 or 2 miles longer than what her dad and big brother completed a few years earlier. Because now dad is remarried to somebody else and has a baby and had to cancel his trip with Joe, even though they've been planning it for a long time. So mom stepped in. Mom is a fifth grade teacher. There are some very delightful times in here where they meet up with a former fifth grade student of her mom's that is also through hiking, and just the dynamics are phenomenal. And Joe talks about her mom being a parent and a teacher. So that was fun for me, also being a fifth grade teacher. I really enjoyed that. I hope that I have that type of long lasting positive effect on my students as they talk about the mom in this one having. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. I can't really say more than that because there will be big spoilers, but I highly suggest this. It is adventurous. There is camping. There's wild animals. Read it. It hits a lot of our middle grade May prompts this year. The audiobook I am currently listening to is What Happened to Rachel Riley by Claire Swinarski. This is told partially through like emails, Instagram posts, tweets, text messages, things like that. Anna moves to this new school. They move in from, I think it's Chicago. Anyway, they move in from like a big town, a big city to this kind of smaller town. And she realizes that there's something going on because this girl, Rachel Riley, is a pariah. Nobody will cheer for her birthday. Nobody talks to her in the hallways. Nobody wants to sit with her, nothing. But if you look at things from as early or as close by as seventh grade, Rachel Riley was like friends with a whole bunch of people. There are Instagram posts and pictures in the yearbook and hanging in the trophy cabinets and things like that, where Rachel Riley has a lot of friends. She was very clearly very popular, and now she's not. And so this is Anna is trying to figure out what happened as kind of a social justice deal. And she's putting together a podcast for it. So you get a lot of little snippets of podcast stuff. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I don't have too much left on the audiobook and hoping to finish that today. Then the other book that I'm still reading is Rogue by Lynn Miller Lockman. It's taking so long because I'm annotating it. Otherwise, I'd be done. But I have read and annotated. I annotated through those 3 chapters I had not annotated, and then I continued on. And so I believe the last time I spoke to you, I was on chapter 15, and now I am finishing up chapter 17. So I've read 3 chapters, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. I've read 3 more chapters, about 20 more pages. But I haven't done much in the last several days because a week and a half ago, not even a week and a half ago, my goodness, 4 days ago, we finished school. Last Wednesday was our last day of school. Today is Monday. So, and then Thursday and Friday, the little one had basketball camp. Friday, the big one had incoming freshman band. It's been a lot.